So, without further ado, let's just take off the overlay. Did that work? Did that really work? Yes. In the bottom left hand corner we do have our red Protoss player, Mr. Izelude. And in the top right hand corner our blue Terran player, WWHydra. Again guys, please do check us out. sc2improve.org is our website, so you can keep up to date with all of our sc2 improve events. As well, don't forget there's our Twitter at sc2_improve, facebook.com/sc2improve as well, and on YouTube, youtube.com/sc2improve, in case you want to kind of keep up with the VODs of this. All the VODs will be posted on there. There'll be VODs of other games going up as well in the future, so keep a lookout. I upload sometimes I upload VODs of the tournaments and so on, some of the good games that get played. So just do give us a follow on the YouTube as well and check out our content and so on. Be appreciated, or just subscribe and never look at our videos again. It all seems good to me as well, makes me happy, all that kind of shit, so cool. So the game is starting up, and it looks like we're going to have a command center first out of WWHydra, which isn't too crazy. The only thing I'd say is 14 CC, not 15, so he just needs to cancel one of them SCVs. Coming into his opponent's base, he's going to get the scout off. He sees a gateway, he sees a gate gas, nothing too chaotic there, or nothing to be worried about really. And he's even just going to attack this SCV here. He's going to put his command center on the low high ground. He does actually go for the 14 CC in the end, so I take back what I was saying. And there's the first barracks coming down on 15, so if we're going to see a second rack, which we really should in this situation, I mean, there's just no reason not to. Going to be on 17, and that'll be coming pretty soon. Izelude, what's he going to respond with? Well, he's going to throw down a 7X core. He's already going to send a Zealot across the map. Now, the Marine's not going to be out for a very long time here. There's the second rack, but that Zealot's going to be out very, very quickly. In fact, the second Zealot's going to come out as well, so Izelude chrono boosting these, realising his opponent's not walled off at all, and just being as annoying as possible with the probe. So he's going to try and get a lot of damage done early on here, maybe get himself a nice early lead and punish his opponent's greedy opening. That's out halfway across the map, and the first Marine is about 10 seconds away from being able to be started. So Izelude going to be able to get in here. You don't know if he's going to be able to kill that SCV on the command center. I think that's going to be finished building just in time. Yeah, it is. But the Zealot is on the way in now. That first Marine's on the way in as well though. Stalker's on the way halfway done from the gateway, and the second Zealot's halfway across the map too. So what can Izelude do here? Well, the second barracks will finish up, but he's going to be able to start getting some probe kills here. He needs to be careful not to get the Zealots around it, which he does, and gets away at the last second. With the second Zealot, he's going to be able to do so much more, and it'll really help him out. And if Hydra doesn't get a bunker up here very, very quickly, he's actually going to find himself in a lot of trouble. These two Zealots are about to come up the ramp, and here we go, just going to come up here and just going to start trading for SCVs. And one SCV does go down, the Zealot just gets surrounded, and that Zealot does actually die pretty quickly. But Izelude here looks like he might get shut down. He loses that Zealot, he loses both the Zealots, but he does have a Stalker coming in as well, and the Stalker can shut this down. He is sacrificing his Nexus for a long time for this though, remember, just throwing that down now as soon as I clicked away with the camera. But the Stalker's coming in as well. That's going to be able to pick off the SCVs. It's going to be able to pick off the Marines too, as it outranges them. And that's going to be able to do a lot of damage. Again, he's forcing a lot of lost mining time here. So going to get one more SCV, and now he needs just to run away and keep running. He's going to try and get one more SCV, but yeah, nice pullback finally from Hydra, pulling that back. And he will finally get away with the Stalker on 13 health. But double orbital up for Hydra, double racks producing Marines. Izelude's about 8 workers up though, and he's forced a lot of lost mining time. However, in terms of well, that second Stalker needs to be careful. But in terms of he gets another SCV, he's going to get another one. No, crazy. In terms of units lost, Terran's lost a little bit more, but he's going to be mining so much faster. He's still got a long time before this Nexus is finished for Izelude, so he's got a lot of time here where he can produce an extra SCV or two. So when the Nexus finishes up for Izelude, we'll see exactly what he's going to decide to do. Well, he's already going to throw down 3 extra gates. He's going to go for 4 gate pressure, feeling like he's very far ahead, which he kind of is. But at the same time, double mule, let's say that's 3 SCVs each. He's only a couple of workers ahead actually. And by the time these 2 SCV finishes, he's actually going to only find himself about even in terms of economy, whereas he should be a little bit more ahead. So Izelude actually has a pylon in the base. Wow, I wondered what that red dot was. Holy shit. Stalkers are coming in, and you know, Hydra's not going to be too impressed here because his marines and bunkers are at the low ground. He's got no defense up here, so Izelude's going to be able to do a lot of damage as Hydra pulls absolutely everything back. He's going to have to fight with absolutely everything here. Another SCV gets picked off, and right now Izelude needs another warping of Zealots, probably going to be most useful. As we see actually 4 more Stalkers coming in. That kind of works as well. The Zealots could just tank a lot more, but the Stalkers of course can just kite the Marines all day and all night. And a lot more SCVs going down, so Izelude with this 4 gate pressure is doing a lot of damage, but he is losing a lot of his units here, but he is taking down a lot of his opponent's economy. He's delaying a lot of his opponent's tech, he's delaying a lot of mining time. And he should be able to get at least 2 more SCVs here if he just runs over to the mineral line. That looks like it's exactly what he's going to be able to do. So picking off them SCVs. Behind this, he needs to kind of be making SCVs, probes of his own though, because if you look at this, 37 to 24 workers, 3 more Stalkers and another Zealot comes in, picking off a few more Marines. It's always useful, but there's just so many Marines out now that Izelude's going to have a hard time microing that, so maybe a little bit of a mistake of a warp in there. Still picking off a lot of Marines in trade, so again, 1 more probably, and maybe if he gets, he's going to be able to get 1 more. But that's going to be it. So the pressure's going to end here. Izelude, he's 25 workers to 5. He's actually going to get, now you put it down to 4 there. Double Mule still on the map, and Izelude's now going to start coming in to try and pressure the and he's actually going to warp in again. So is he going to be able to continue putting on enough pressure here to make this worthwhile? He's losing a lot of units now, and this is why it's kind of turning bad. But at the same time, his opponent's barely mining. He's got like 4 SCVs, but his opponent does have a lot of like minerals banked up. So the problem with that is, well, actually he's putting them all on gas, so Hydra here wants to just straight away go in. Oh, losing another Stalker there, a little bit sloppy. So Hydra obviously wants to get up a factory here, or at least get up his tech very quickly. He's making SCVs as fast as he can, and he can afford to do that. He's got a lot of minerals banked up. So Izelude, he's 24 workers ahead. In this situation, I genuinely think just add 3 more. I mean, if you add 2 more gateways, you know how much damage you've done. Add 2 more gateways and make like 6 warpings at a time. It's like there's nothing your opponent can really do. It doesn't matter how many SCVs he has to repair. Oh wait, he doesn't have SCVs to repair a bunker. So I really think maybe just going for a 6 gate attack here would be great. Factory's going to start up, and Hydra's going to get back in this game pretty quickly here. Well, he's still half the SCVs of his opponent. Izelude could just be chrono boosting them out a bit more. It's exactly what he starts doing now. But again, behind this, Izelude so far ahead to take a 5th base. So far ahead, just like, yeah, add gateways, just do everything you need to do. Robo's going to finish, add double forge as well, why not? And there's 1 forge, so maybe he's 3 or 9. So there's double forge in the robotic space. So Izelude will just macro up behind us, and you know, he's got a good tech kind of build. He's going to have such a tech lead that in theory he's got such an economy lead that if he just 2 base attacks with anything, he should win. Or he can take 3rd base and just win 2 because he's going to be so far ahead on economy when they go for a 3 base fight. So so Hydra, you know, he's pretty desperate to obviously keep his SCV production going. He's finally starting to stim, and again, any kind of 2 base time from Izelude is just going to be so strong because stim and combat shields might have just finished, but where are the upgrades? There's like no upgrades at all. So Izelude's going to throw down these 2 pylons in the back, starting to chrono boost out Colossus, and again, like if 3 Colossi timing, even 2 Colossi timing could be deadly here. The problem is though, again, the continued aggression over here for like the extra like 2 or 3 SC, like there was about like 2 walking rounds which killed about 5 Marines and an SCV, and from that point that's what was really hurting. I mean, imagine Izelude right now back at home has like 8 extra Stalkers of this, or like 6 extra Zealots and like another Forge. He's just got such a better army, so a little bit of an overcommitment at the end of that 4 gate kind of pressure, which went on for quite some time. Factory floating out, we're going to have medevacs on the way up, and again, the Terran player kind of being kept in this by mules. He's still behind in economy. He's still kind of defending his edge of his base here for no reason at all, really. I'm not too sure what that's about, but the Terran's just ahead in the Terran's behind in economy. He's starting to get up that tech. He's not going to be able to make a strong push because Izelude's going to have enough kind of tech units out. He's going up to the Twilight Council, getting the 3rd base as well. So Izelude's still ahead in this game, despite the kind of units evening up. The army supply is even, but Izelude 20 workers ahead kind of tells the story. So, spawn the factory, that's pretty nifty. I mean, he's not going to really be able to take it down, but 2 medevacs are actually loaded up by Hydra. Wouldn't really suggest moving them across the map loaded up, because what if like 5 stalkers find them? Oh my god, they die. So Izelude's going to come down to his drop defense now. He doesn't have any defense in his main at all, so already he's kind of thinking he's so far ahead he can't be dropped. So getting a little bit overconfident here, as these drops are about to start coming in, and they're actually going to go straight for the main base, and Izelude, not realising this, could be about to lose his robo facility, which is placed in a pretty bad position, right on the edge of his base. Perfect target for the a drop, and that's exactly what's going to get targeted down. So Izelude's Colossi tech going to get taken down here, now running in with the rest of these marines, and what else are they going to be able to pick off? Well, they're actually going to lift up immediately. Izelude with some nice stalker position, going to be able to get one of them medevacs. Is going to be able to get the second? Yes, he is. So able to clean that up in the end, and that actually in the end probably wasn't worthwhile for Hydra. Losing 20 supply worth units to pick off the robo facility, I'm not too sure. So again, Hydra could have like stimmed to the edge of the base, then lifted up, dropped down into the third a little bit faster, something like that. So Izelude kind of just needs to leave 4 stalkers now in his main base, as the AI is just messing up terrifically as he tries to get out of there. Temple Archive's coming down, so instead of the robo facility, he's going to say, well, let's just go into Tempers. He's got his third base up, he's got the gases up as well. His robo facility is going to start the fit. Again, a really exposed position. Like, it's so easy for the Terran to stay up here, pick it off, and then leave before you're in position to defend. So anything kind of on this side of your base is not safe. Anything over here is really safe. So this is all cool, this is all kind of meh. So it's cool to have gateways over here, because if you lose a gateway, it's not the end of the world. So it's the same as like you wouldn't put your robo facility behind here, because what if he just drops here and kills it? It's like, yeah, it's not the best kind of positioning in the world for the Protoss tech buildings, especially important ones. Observe at the front's going to see, well, not too much. I still don't get why he's rallying into his main base. Like, what if the Protoss player just attacks down here? It's like so dumb. Nonetheless, Izelude continues to maintain a 22 worker lead. Army supplies are still pretty even, but I mean, Izelude's teching into the ghosts right now, which is good. Problem is though, he's still only got 1 forge, and unless I'm mistaken, but no, 1 forge, when he's had such a lead in terms of economy, there should be no reason not to have a second forge. I mean, was that just +2 finishing? Yeah, so he's got like 600 floating here. There's no reason that couldn't have been invested into kind of like +2 armor by now. So +1 armor is going to start up and going to Corona boost out ASAP. Again, just adding the second forge, especially on free base, there's no reason not to have a second forge. So it's going to be 2-0 against 2-2. And so with the upgrade advantage and a similar sized army, in fact Hydra's got a larger army. Hydra's going to find himself in a pretty good position. He's got the right amount of Vikings to take out the Colossi. There is Storm for Izelude. It's going to come down to the Storms. And Hydra is going to try and take this fifth base, which has been very delayed. Izelude's going to set up the 4th down to the bottom right. And here comes Izelude going to try and take this position here. The Storms are what's going to be so important. They're going to come in from the low ground, and they're not going to be able to get in range right now, as Hydra's doing a really nice step. There's nothing to tank here for Izelude. No, not enough zealots at all, which is the real problem here. Storms are going to go down, which is going to be able to buy time, but if there was some zealots here, this army wouldn't be able to kind of withstand this as much. So Izelude just using nice kind of basic storm defense right now. Then Medevac's very low energy. Is another storm going to go down? Yes, it is. So that's pretty much all the storms, but a lot of the Vikings going down. And being able to pick off the Vikings is always a great thing. And Izelude going to start morphing Archons too, so in a nice little position here. 6 more Templars being morphed in, but again, what is there to tank for Izelude? Not that much. Excuse me, as the Vikings do get picked off, but Izelude overcommitting just a little bit there. Going to be able to pick off the mid base, so again, maintaining this lead, but the composition wasn't really that strong, and especially when the Terran's actually ahead of you in upgrades, you can't just go in with kind of no zealots, because you're just going to lose everything. Gateway units aren't very strong against bio anyway. Gateway units without with gateway units without zealots to tank, even worse. So Izelude managed to pick off the third base, but again, the composition could have just been fixed up a little bit. Colossi production is going to resume now, which is a great choice. I mean, take down the Vikings. Hey, let's go straight back into Colossi. I've already got Templar up, so he's going to have to get Ghosts. And on 2 base, he can't really afford that. So Izelude playing this out well, and again he's still got this lead. He's just been playing very riskily with it. Kind of, he's not been playing as safe as he could have been. He's not being secured. He's not got that double forge. Probably could have just played so much more greedy and so much like less safe than he thought he could. So Izelude now going to move across the map one more time with this Storms. He's got another Colossi with him as well, so this is going to be able to start shutting this down. Fourth base is up for Izelude, and again Izelude's just ready to move across the map with this army, a pure marine army pretty much from Hydra. He's pretty split, but that's not going to do much at all. There's not even a Viking to start taking down the one Colossus, and Izelude again maintained this lead all game long, but it's just been a little bit, could have just been more ahead. I mean, when you take your opponent down to 5 SCVs and then don't go finish him off, you just need to be as greedy as possible. So Izelude going to be able to move up the ramp if he wants. I mean, there's nothing there, so he's maybe just going to reposition and go up the natural and try and end the game maybe pretty soon. A lot of reinforcing pounds coming in, some more temper, a lot of zealots coming in, so this time he's going to have a lot more to tank for him. Again, less zealots than stalkers is just never really that good. So Izelude with 180 supply going to be able to start moving up here. He's still only 2-1 though, so again his upgrades are kind of just suffering all game long. Maybe should have taken out the rocks first, but huge EMP is actually going down. And Izelude just got so many Archons stuck in the back, which is really hurting him. The Colossi goes down almost immediately. The Archons should be enough here to clear up, although they do have lesser upgrades. And again, just the worst fight possible. He's going to be able to take off them medevacs, maybe. No, not in the end, but again, that was the worst possible fight. Fighting up a choke, everything was just stuck in the back. The one Colossi was in the front and got sniped. The zealots and everything, it was just, yeah, it wasn't the best. So Izelude just continuing to fight with these Archons, which are actually pretty strong against just pure marine. Fortunately, otherwise he'd be in a pretty big spot of trouble. He's got so much he can warp in right now. I saw him add 7 gates or something earlier because they're all down here. So right now there should be no reason for him to not have already had them warp-ins go in and not already have kind of another Colossi. Well, there's a Colossi, but could have already had like another round of Templar on the map and so on. Hydra probably going to be dealt his killing blow here as the Zealot's going to charge in, and again nothing to handle the Colossi as the Zealot's going to finish up pretty much with everything. A few Marines at the back going to try and take out the Colossi. It's not going to be enough though, and that base is once again going to die unless it gets lifted up. Colossi will will not go down. This Colossi survives on a mere 2 health, and another nice little pickup by Hydra, just trying to play around, but 16 Stalkers coming in from Izelude against Stalkers. Mix zealots and Templar. This Archon. I mean, Stalkers are never good. Like 6 to 10 Stalkers is great. 16 Stalkers are just never good. Like, sure, he's so far ahead, but it's just kind of hurting him here. So Izelude takes the game. After 25 minutes though, which is a lot longer than it should have gone on. So again, just could have either ended the game a lot sooner or could have just been so much more greedy, taking the 3rd base while taking Colossi and the double forge and so on. So Izelude just could have played either so much more greedy and so on. And then in the end he also didn't have a good composition, like like could have had so many more zealots, could have taken a much better fight than over here. And just little things like that is what kind of allowed the Terran to stay in it for so long. So things like that can cost you games if you're not as far ahead, of course. So we're just going to jump straight into the next game. If we've done a TVP, that means we should maybe move on to a, well, let's see, rename. Put a big fat done in this. Once again guys, thanks for watching. This is the improvement show by S2 Improve. I hope you're having a good time. I certainly am.